Hi, this is Dustin. In this video, I will show proof for No More Genocides Part 6 with today's science and technology for real Star Trek with credible resources in the description. My background: I have 2 bachelor's degrees, 2 master's degrees, and I completed my PhD degree, accepted dissertation, and instead wrote a book that is free on Amazon based on Yara Shahidi's hypothesis given in a speech at the Gleason Respect Awards on October 19, 2018. The hypothesis is that prevention will lead to equity, and that equity will lead to equality. This is a non-profit channel, and everything said on this channel has a reference in the description. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments. Okay, let's begin. In Star Trek First Contact, Counselor Deanna Troi said that they got rid of wars and genocides since you need wars to do genocides. Also, propaganda is a tool that pushes genocides because of dehumanization. Okay, let's solve genocides. I'm not a big fan on government, but this is a way to do it. The government can expand into a new department called the Department of Ethics and Morality. This department will search for businesses that are selling snake oil, using propaganda, conspiracy theories, hurting or manipulating people, etc. Some businesses are promoting propaganda as a business model, and they are profiting from this manipulation of misinformation to the public. Also, politicians are making money from donations for their campaigns to be elected by pushing propaganda narratives from social media and journalism companies. Even though AI can identify propaganda and facts, it is not foolproof. AI can analyze patterns, context, and source behavior to spot misinformation, but it still requires human oversight for accuracy. This is why this Department of Ethics and Morality is needed. What can be done about this? Now, if a politician, journalist, or company of any kind comes out with a claim that the moon is made out of green cheese, then people will go to the department's website to see if it is true. Once everyone knows it is not made from cheese, then the Department of Ethics will send a notice to that politician, journalist, or company of any kind to retract their claim or prove it. If they can prove it, then they have to retract their claim on buying a full page 1 spread in a newspaper or publish it on their social media page. If a politician, journalist, or company of any kind still pushes a claim, then the politician, journalist, or company of any kind should be fined under an ethics violation for a stern amount of money. I argue the fine should be 1/4 of their salary or profit margin for the first violation, half for the second, 3/4 for the third, etc., with each step having a retraction on what they said on page 1. With politicians and journalists and internet contributors to celebrities pushing products, they should all get an individual business license because they are acting like their own business and serving the public by representing truth to serve their audiences. In these individual businesses license, they will be judged under business ethics just like any other business. If they have 3 ethic violations, then their business license will be removed. They can get it back by paying off their fines and by taking and passing numerous ethic classes to understand business ethics properly. Regular businesses across the industry should be governed the same way as well. Now, to clarify, this doesn't mean disqualifying anyone's First Amendment rights, like on social media. For example, if a person has a Facebook page, YouTube page, TikTok page, Instagram, then a person has followers on the content they are showing on these social media platforms. When the platform or social media post has more than 50 subscribers or followers, as an example, then this becomes a business and comes under the rules of the Department of Ethics. Usually people who have a public social media account shows that this person wants to be noticed or drawn more people to notice their pictures, talents, or understanding about something. Again, this is a business of selling yourself to the public, and this form and this is a form of advertisement in a way. It is the beginning of a business to become a minor celebrity. This would be a business to be declared through this department and would be scrutinized under the supervision of ethics. Now, if you comment on another person's page, this is still free speech and not under the supervision of ethics. The comments are part of the business model for fans, business clients, or people just browsing the page to comment on their material being shown. This again is a First Amendment opinion, and anything this person wants to say and it is protected under the First Amendment. Now, if a person has a social media public presence, they will be subjugated to fines and regulations under the Department of Ethics. This person can challenge these fines in front of a judge. If this person gets 3 ethic violations, then their business license is revoked. This person then has to take ethical classes at their expense and pay a fine to get their business license back. After that, they can get back on social media as a public entrepreneur. Now, with each ethical violation, the person can challenge it in court, but if they lose, they have to pay the fine and court costs. If the business wins, then they are free, and the Department of Ethics has to pay for the court costs. As stated before, each loss in court, as with land-based businesses, the person has to write a retraction on their ethical loss on their social media page, showing that they were wrong and the content that they were playing for that infraction was wrong as well. The best thing about the court cases in front of a judge is that all the judge has to do is read and watch the posts on the accused social media account to see if it violates any ethical issues. Like with conspiracy theories or propaganda, it is a real open and shut case. Now with the morality department of this government entity, this will be a council of religious academics on morality, judging religious institutions like churches, mosques, and synagogues. This department will have every popular denomination like Christian, Islam, Jewish, atheist, Buddhist, Hindu, Sikhism, Wiccan, the spirits, agnostic, etc., appointed by the public to represent their interests or appointed by a president or governor of a state. This department will be legal because the Constitution says that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. This department is a loophole because it brings together all religions recognized by the United States to judge other religious institutions so that religious institutions cannot manipulate the people in any way, use conspiracy theories, use propaganda to promote hate, and to have their people question their religious institutions with facts so that every person can see the truth of what their religion is all about without the promotion of one religion superior to another. This department is to promote shared religious harmony with all religions here in the United States. This morality department will also give out nonprofit religious licenses to whoever wants to start a religion or philosophical nonprofit business like a church, mosque, or synagogue, or something that represents a new religion or philosophy community, etc. This nonprofit religious and philosophical business license will be given out to people who have completed a master's degree or PhD in religious or philosophical studies, being published and ethically reviewed. Plus, these students will be knowledgeable on simulation microloans, bank loans, and business school. They will also consult with an economic strategist. This will all be explained in later videos. The point with the publishing is so that the department can follow this person's understanding and knowledge base of the religion or philosophical nonprofit business they want to open. Each religious institution is also tax exempt. Now, if the department gives the institution 3 violations, then this institution will no longer be tax exempt. and they would have to pay taxes. They would also have to get a new nonprofit religion or philosophical business license. Again, if the religious institution wants to be tax exempt and get their nonprofit religious or philosophical business license again, then the patrons running the institution will have to take moral and ethical classes at their expense to pay the fines. I would like this department to adhere to the rules Norway has on their religious institutions as well. In Norway, it says that if any religious or philosophical community or individuals acting on behalf of that institution commits violence or coercion, makes threats, violates children's rights, violates statutory discrimination, seriously violates the rights and freedoms of others, then this institution will be punished by being denied tax-exempt status. Just like before, the people in religious institution can challenge the fines in front of a judge. The judge makes the decision. If the religious institution is found guilty, then they have to pay the fines and court costs. If the religious institution is found innocent, then the people are set free and the department has to pay the court costs. As stated before, with each loss in court, as with land-based businesses, the religious institution has to write a retraction on their social media page showing that they were wrong and that the content that they were promoting and showing for that infraction was wrong as well. In the end, it is many religious institutions looking after the best interests of what is moral and ethical with religion itself. This means no one will be manipulated again by fraudulent means, and people can finally serve God in a moral and ethical way again. In the end, religions can be a good thing for society. They can take care of people in need, from poor people to people in disasters. They can help people make social connections through making friends. This can help make people live happier lives and live a longer life. Religion can help people believe in something bigger than themselves in hopes that there is a loving God and to one day see their lost relatives again. Plus, praying has meditational benefits for less stress. Now, if religions prescribe to these notions described above as a nonprofit ethical business with morality stories, then propaganda and con artists will never manifest, especially if students to adults are scientifically taught. Religion can be good for society, and humans will hopefully find God. This will be explained again in more videos later on. Capitalism can work within the realm of science and ethics with published information for everyone to see. This is why information equality is so important. Humans are social creatures and are dependent on information. And this is why propaganda cannot be used in the American dream. This is the end of part 6. Live long and prosper.